Well, hello everyone. My name is Jordan Beachy, and I'm a junior at Frostburg. And my contemporary relevance presentation is entitled Language and the Deference Code. Um, while I usually have to go searching for presentation topics, this one more or less came to me, I guess, while I was scrolling through Amazon reviews for The Hate You Give. Um, the whole review is really interesting, and it's actually the second most popular review for The Hate You Give, so it's not just some random review that I picked up. So I found it really interesting, and I want to focus specifically on the last paragraph, which reads, "As a white person, I actually found myself wondering, am I racist as I read this book? Because I was continually turned off by the manner of speaking throughout. If you want respect from the world writ large, then speak intelligently. I'm reading Michelle Obama's wonderful book right now, and she alludes to this very thing. Her parents taught her the importance of proper grammar, showing respect, and getting a good education." When I read this, my mind went to the English linguistics class that I took last spring, where we learned something about language and how some people do discriminate against other people, specifically African Americans, not only, but specifically them because of their speech. But before I get into the specifics of what the reviewer was talking about, I want to talk a little bit about African American vernacular English. According to the University of Hawaii, AAVE is an English variety formerly known as Black English Vernacular or Vernacular Black English among sociolinguists and commonly called Ebonics outside the academic community. AAVE is English, of course, but it has several elements that distinguish it from standard English. This includes phonics, which is how words sound. So, for example, deleting second consonants in clusters at the ends of words, as in test for test. And there are a lot of other examples. But AAVE is also grammatically unique in some ways, with a complex and varied use of be, which is conjugated differently than in standard English. And it also allows for double negatives, among many other things. And it also has a distinctive vocabulary. And here are just several examples, which I found really interesting. Dig from Wolof deg or dega, which is to understand or appreciate. And I should say Wolof is a language spoken in Senegal, Gambia, and Mauritania. Also, hip from Wolof hepi or hippie, which means, I guess that's how you pronounce it, I shouldn't presume to know, but which means to open one's eyes or to be aware of what's going on. So, what exactly does the Amazon reviewer dislike about The Hate You Give, about how Angie Thomas writes? I think if we look at the grammar, we see that Angie Thomas uses AAVE for several of the characters. And I just have a couple examples here. We gon' handle her tonight, where gone or gonna is used to mark future tense. And so I didn't explain all of these rules that we're going to look at here on the slide before, but these are all within the AAVE distinctive strand of English. You act like you don't know nobody, where there's a double negative again, or she claims she's trying to get clean, where we have a dropped S after claim, and no conjugated form of be before trying, as in she is trying. And people already say you think you all that, so there's no conjugated form of be, think you are all that. And since the reviewer explicitly mentions grammar in the review, my guess is that it's the grammar, this grammar, that is mostly repulsive to him or her. And this discrimination is not new at all. The comic we have here shows that people have thought of AAVE as invading the good and proper ways of standard English for a long time. Just like we saw in the autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman, there were many allusions to the Deference Code, where an African American is expected to show proper respect by saying or acting in certain ways. And the Amazon reviewer specifically calls Starr's language disrespectful. They want Angie Thomas to learn good grammar in order to earn the world's respect. So this, I think, is a demonstration of how the Deference Code lives on today. For job interviews, for example, and other important social interactions, many African Americans change their dialect in order to get a job. Otherwise, they might be discriminated against as improper or disrespectful. So, although discrimination has changed its stripes, it definitely has not gone away. So thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a good week.